About 3 years ago, I was carrying my young son in from the car. It's something all of us have done over the years, and we often take for granted that we're capable of doing. For me, that night changed my life forever. I was halfway between the front porch and the car. My left arm went dead. I nearly dropped my son, and I could no longer lift any weight with that arm. Once I got him in the house and set him down, my arm could move normally. I could touch my face or touch the top of my head. But several times after that, I'd be lifting a gallon of milk or even a glass of water, and my arm would just drop. It took nearly a year and more tests than I could count before we found out the source of my problems. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. One of the side effects of having fibromyalgia is that you sometimes experience what's referred to as peripheral neuropathy. It's when an extremity suffers weakness, numbness, and pain. It can be a serious condition, and in this paper I'm going to help you understand what fibromyalgia is, how it's diagnosed, and how it's treated. According to the Mayo Clinic, fibromyalgia is a disorder characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. Researchers believe that fibromyalgia amplifies a painful sensation by affecting the way your brain processes pain signals. Whenever someone asks me what it is, the best way I can define it for them is as a stress-related pain disorder. When your body feels stress, it translates it as pain. So the more stress you have from lack of sleep or frustration you get from having memory issues, your body amplifies that by tensing up your muscles and causing musculoskeletal pain. The hardest thing about having fibromyalgia is that there is no medical test or x-ray that can provide a definitive diagnosis. Doctors typically use the American College of Rheumatology's 1990 criteria for classifying fibromyalgia. According to these criteria, a person is considered to have fibromyalgia if he or she has widespread pain for a minimum of 3 months, in combination with tenderness in at least 11 of the 18 specific tender points. The pain is only considered widespread when it occurs in both the left and right side of the body, both above and below the waist, in the cervical spine, anterior chest, thoracic spine, and lower back also have to exhibit signs of pain. And that definition is provided to us by the National Institute of Arthritis, Skin Musculoskeletal, and Skin Diseases. It's a subsection of the National Institute of Health. It's also known as NIAMS. Fibromyalgia can be hard to treat. It's important to find a doctor who's familiar with the disorder and its treatment. Many family physicians, general internists, and rheumatologists are capable of treating the disease, rheumatologists being the specific doctors who specialize in arthritis and conditions that affect your joints and soft tissues. Fibromyalgia, it often requires a team approach whenever you go to treat it. Your family doctor can provide you with a physical therapist, a pain specialist for whenever the pain becomes too unbearable. And the rheumatology clinic can often provide you with other stretches and diets that can help treat the pain. The picture I just showed you is what we call the downward spiral. It starts with an actual injury, and then you get a diagnosis of something like tendinitis or arthritis, something that causes pain but doesn't necessarily have a visible spectrum. Then you go through the process of the MRI, and when they can no longer find a source but the pain doesn't go away, then they begin moving on to other areas, such as the degenerative disc disease, a bulging disc, or some other problem in your spine. You get referred to a pain clinic and you receive injections, and it's not helping. And you end up with a depression diagnosis from being in pain for so long, and then you have no response to that because you're still in pain, you're still frustrated, you're still having all these problems and nobody can tell you why. Then you move into a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, and then your doctor can come at you with a three-pronged approach with the pain, the depression, and finally a reason. A lot of people want to say it's a made-up disease, that it doesn't exist, and that's not true. It is a serious disease, and I'm hoping that this speech has given somebody else out there who's feeling that stage of depression, feeling that pain, a better idea of how they can make their life a little better too. If I did that for one person, then this speech is a success. Thanks for listening.